Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Welcome to the All Elite Wrap-Up right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I'm good old Mike BELCASTER, as usual, riding solo tonight, but my goodness, we have a hell of a wrap-up because we had a hell of a Dynamite to cover. An amazing night. Let's get into a little bit of shilling before we start going over everything. Guys, please head on over to theturnbuckletavern.com where you could join our community. We are available every single place you get your viewing, you get your listening. You want to follow us, we're all over the place. You see the beautiful logos right there. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Discord, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pro Wrestling Tees, and Teesprings. And speaking of Pro Wrestling Tees, guys, go check out our Pro Wrestling Tees shop. We got a lot of cool stuff. ProWrestlingTees.com/tavern. You could buy some beautiful shirts. We have like 3 pages of merch there. It's unbelievable how good it is. And if you're not finding anything there that tickles your fancy, my God, well, you better spring on over to Teespring. Just go to the turnbuckletavern.com. Our Teespring link is right there for you to spring on over to their site. We have so much merch over there. You can get an All Elite wrap-up mug. You can get a Sen Hawk mug. You can get an All Elite Farms serving up that grass-fed crow since 2019. So many good, awesome pieces of merch. Go support the boys. Give us some love. We really appreciate it. And guys, while you're shilling and thrilling for the Turnbuckle Tavern, please give us a call over at 304-404-2004. Call the tavern, leave us a voicemail. Tell us what you liked about Dynamite. Tell us what you didn't like about Dynamite. Tell us what you like and don't like about pro wrestling in general. Hey, you could even tell us what you like and don't like about Tom Montelto. Ha ha ha. Jokes. But yes, guys, go call the tavern, air your grievances, tell your friends, get on the air live, well, kind of live. It's pre-recorded, but you'll get to hear yourself live as you're listening to it. And listen, it's a great time, and it'll give you an excuse to check out the #1 show right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern, and that is the flagship show featuring the 2 Bad Chads tomorrow morning. It drops. It's the all elite recap, man. They go over tonight's Dynamite, Rampage, Quickies. You got it all. You got Call the Hawk. I mean, it is a must hear audio pleasure. Guys, what's up, man? We're gonna get right into it. I think there's not too much craziness going on, and as our good friend Tony says,
let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Let's get into a little bit of news here. We're gonna pull this up. A couple big announcements today from AEW. Not only did they invade Canada for the second time ever, but I mean, guys, Forbidden Door, Sunday, June 25th, bell time, 7 p.m. Eastern. They are over in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, at the Scotiabank Arena. I am looking forward to this. It's going to be crazy. I wonder why AEW is veering away from Chicago for Forbidden Door. It leaves so many questions, so many possibilities of what's going on, but I do think it's a good reason. I think the Canadian crowd was absolutely on fire tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing more wrestling right there in Canada. And speaking of, guys, we got more shows announced. AEW threw up this beautiful graphic over on their social medias. Pop that bad boy up for you. Boom. Check it out. We have 4 weeks of pro wrestling, man. This is huge. We got June 28th, July 5th, July 12th, and July 14th, all running on the AEW Summer Canada Tour. Canadian Tour. Tickets go on sale Friday, March 24th at 10 a.m. local time, but go over to AEW Tix. We got a huge Canadian tour happening. It looks like it's going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, the crowds were hot tonight. I was pumped to enjoy the show. Really good stuff. Absolutely awesome. Hey, yo, it's Tyson Trevino. It's okay. But Tyson, I'm sorry you're not in the best of moods, but the Tavern's got your back, brother, no matter what. If you got to take some time off, go take care of yourself. Make sure you are at your best of we want the best Tyson we can get, and we want you to be the best Tyson you can be. All right. So you go take care of yourself, man. We're here. We got you, homie. But guys, we got one more piece of news, and it is a big one. It happened right after Jade Cargill's match tonight. We got the awesome debut and announcement of TAYA VALKRIE coming in hot. What a surprise. What a shock. I was super pumped. Beautiful face to add to the AEW roster, to the women's division. I think she's going to do amazing things here. And I love that she stepped right into the meat of things with Jade Cargill. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does here in AEW, man. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, man, that's it for the little bit of news we got going around, and we can get right into it. We had, hold on, I gotta get a drop prepped. I gotta get something going. Hold on.
What do you guys want to talk about?
Never gets old, Cody. It never gets old, because listen, we need to talk. And Christopher, you are on the money. I thought this was a stacked ass Dynamite. Let's just give it a quick little overall rundown. I thought this was one of the better ones we've seen in a while. I know I say that a lot because they keep topping themselves, but we do get these dips occasionally. But this was done so well. I think everything but the Outcast segment had it for me. I really enjoyed the whole card, top to bottom. It was fantastic. Starting with this awesome rebar mitzvah segment from MJF coming out hot, getting ready. Like, I mean, how entertaining, how much more entertainment can you want from this gentleman? He is killing it out there right now. Just instant heel stuff. So good. And of course,
because I'm better than you and you know it.
Right. I mean, the guy speaks the truth. Loved the whole segment. It was golden. And the best part is we got the biggest tease in AEW recent history, because the four pillars of AEW were all in the ring together, ready to just tear each other apart. It was great. We had Sammy Guevara, we had Jungle Boy, we had Darby Allin and MJF all spitting words together. I thought Darby Allin was so good on the mic. Jungle Boy needs a little bit more mic work. He is not completely selling me yet, but he's great. He's an unbelievable talent. But awesome to see him get in there. Sammy talking all the smack. Fantastic. Really, really great. Just a beautiful segment. Really got you invested into what the future is going to be. I'm looking forward to the feud. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to hear about it. I can't wait to see where it grows from here. It's going to be a really, really awesome, just an awesome program. I'm pumped to see Darby get in the mix of the heavyweight championship. Hopefully, it would be really awesome. Same thing with Sammy and Jungle Boy. I think a fatal four way, which I don't really like fatal four ways for a big title, but for this, I'd make an exception. I think these guys would put on a hell of a match, and I'm here for it, dude. Darby talking smack about the wrestlers, crying and complaining on Twitter, just, oh, I don't get paid enough, and the contract dispute of 2024. It was icing on top of the cake. It was great. Loved every minute of it. And yeah, man, I thought it was a very good segment. Ended hot. I like the MGF getting the cake in the face, him rubbing the cake in his face, getting chased out of there. It was really good, really well done, and it just kept getting hotter and hotter. Next, we went into the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Dark Order, which was Stu Grayson, Evil Uno, and off the top of my head, I'm forgetting, but it was an unbelievable match, because I don't care. Super Smash Brothers, of the indie fame of the homeboys, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, are back together in a tag team, killing all that action, man. It was so well done, so badass. Really good. Great stuff from both teams. Awesome ending. Oh, Hangman, of course, it was Hangman. How can I forget that? But yeah, Hangman getting decked out with the belt, taking him out of the match, and Stu and Uno just kind of running shit for a little bit. It was really great. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. Badass match, really fun. I love Evil Uno. I love seeing Stu Grayson and him teaming together again. Really, really badass, really good. But I thought it was well done. I really did. looking forward to whatever comes next out of this. It seems like we're getting a bigger tease than we were expecting. I wasn't sure if we were done with the Dark Order versus the Blackpool Combat Club, but yeah, we'll figure it out, right? That's what we're here. We're here to enjoy the damn ride. I'm so pumped, man. Next up, we had the very short but sweet Jade versus random Canadian jobber. I apologize for not getting her name, but it was not a long match. There was not a lot going on. Jade got her with the 1-2-3 rather fast. It was all right. Like it wasn't anything captivating. I had a feeling Jade was going to win once we seen who her opponent was, but that's not where the meat and potatoes are. We got TAYA VALKRIE coming out, debuting for AEW tonight. So damn good. I'm pumped for Taya. I think she's a unbelievably great talent and the perfect person to put up against Jade right now. I think she's a beast in the ring. She's an unbelievably great performer, and I think she's going to kill it in a program with Jade. Love the back and forth too. It was really cool. I loved her hitting the Jade's finish on the other girl. Just really good shit. Very very awesome. I was stoked, man. Ready to fucking roll. Next up on the list, we had that Ricky Starks promo, which was all right. It wasn't anything. I don't know where they're going with this Bullet Club thing. I don't know where they're going with the Juice Robinson thing, but listen, I'm here for it. I'm not against it. I'm excited to see Ricky Starks take on Juice Robinson and whatever else comes down that pathway. It's going to be really good, man. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun program. But then we got a not so fun program. One of the Debbie Downers of the night, the debut of QTV. It was mid. It was very mid. It was very meh. QT Marshall not doing much for me. I don't buy him being this tough ass guy going against Hobbs, stealing all the stuff from his car. It's all right. Like it's okay. We're gonna have to see where they go with it. Really thought Hobbs looks great. I'm happy Hobbs has the belt. QT being in the program after this big win of his, I'm not digging that. That kind of sucks the air out of the room, right? So it was okay. It wasn't anything great. I want to see where they're going with it more so. Like really do. Really looking forward to hopefully some bigger plans. That would be great, right? But next up, we had the international championship match between Orange Cassidy and Jeff Jarrett. Not gonna lie, I thought they were giving Jarrett the title for a good portion of this match, and I wasn't happy about it. Not the biggest Jeff Jarrett fan in AEW. Love Jeff Jarrett in GCW. Love Jeff Jarrett in TNA. Kind of like Jeff Jarrett in WWF. If you guys are looking to hear my opinions on Jeff Jarrett, not that anybody really cares, but go check out Shot of Nostalgia on Friday nights at the Turnbuckle Tavern, right here, right where you're watching. We are doing a huge deep dive of 1998 WWF right now. We are doing all the Monday Night Raws, all the pay-per-views, and Jeff Jarrett is just a thorn in my side there as much as he is here. So yeah, fun match. Wasn't expecting much out of it, and we didn't get much out of it. Good stuff from Orange Cassidy. Really enjoyed him going back and forth, kicking ass. Love the spot with Jeff Jarrett, doing the pockets gimmick and the crowd going absolutely ape shit. Excuse me. But yeah, I thought it was all right. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best thing on the show, but it also wasn't the worst thing. But speaking of the worst thing for me, and I don't know how you guys feel. You can please leave comments, talk to me. We could air some shit out here. But the Outcast promo with Saraya and Ruby and I don't know, man. They do nothing at all for me. I like the poking fun at the interim thing. That was all right, but I mean, it was a weird segment. You get Britt and Hater coming out, they getting their asses kicked, and then we get Rio and Will Nightingale coming out and trying to save Sky Blue. It was weird. I don't know, because Rio, I mean, makes sense because she's an OG AW chick. Love Rio. But weird, and also weird is that Sheeta just kind of vanished from this whole angle. Like, what happened to Sheeta? I thought Sheeta was going to be there with some oomph because of the way that Saraya was treating her, and was looking forward to that. Really was. You left me hanging, man. But yeah, I don't know. It was an okay segment, okay promo. Nothing fantastic. I'm still on the fence on what's going on with this Outcast gimmick. We kind of all seen the writings on the wall with Ruby turning and going heel. It was all right. It was mid. It wasn't anything great. But listen, it was fun. Good little separation between right before the main event, which we needed. I feel like we needed. But yeah, guys, where's my? This is like the quickest wrap up we're probably ever gonna have. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. But let's get prepping and rolling. Where's my homeboy Mark Henry so we could get right into things.
It's time for the main event.
Hell yeah, it's time for the main event, and nobody says it better than Mark Henry, man. We had a trios match between the Jericho Appreciation Society, the House of Black, and the Elite, which I was not expecting anything less than they put on. The performance from all three teams, just spectacular, man. I love the cadence that House of Black is carrying with them right now. I love that they're still our trios champions. This was a banger of a main event. Could have headlined any pay-per-view. It was so cool to hear or to see Kenny and Jericho bantering back and forth, kind of teaming up together. The heroes of Canada taking on, everybody at once. That was really fun. Love that. The Jericho Appreciation Society, good shit. They are the perfect heel tag team or faction, whatever the hell you want to call them. It is great. I loved every minute of it. Like really, really good shit. And then the Elite, man. I mean, the Elite still coming out there putting on bangers. Kenny Omega looked on fire tonight. It must have been really cool to be doing something big in front of his hometown. Same thing with Jericho. I feel like they really got the love they deserved. They really had a great time out there. This looked fun to be a part of. Like it really did. It looked awesome. Some really good stuff from, again, House of Black, just looking powerful. Brody King looks fucking tastic. Just a beast of a man. This was really just action packed. They give it like 20 minutes too, which is rare for a Dynamite main event. But yeah, man, it was really cool. Lots of good shit, lots of back and forth going on. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. And then we got just a brawl after the match, and we see Hangman just beating the piss out of the Blackpool Combat Club, throwing him down the ramp, getting all hot and bothered with them. And he gets into the ring, and it's Blackpool Combat Club's on one side, you got the Elite on the other, and poor little Hangman Page in the middle, teasing big things for us over here at AEW. I'm so pumped to see where this goes, because this is the one thing that AEW has done very well, was the Elite and Hangman story. It's possibly one of the best storytelling things that they have done. I think they did a great job with Hangman and Kenny really getting into each other's faces. That was beautiful, absolutely beautiful for wrestling writing. And this is just leading on to that. This is like, we got a couple months off from Hangman doing his own thing, being his man. I think it was like a year. And he got his title run, he had his little run in with Punk and Moxley, and I'm super excited to see him kind of back with the Elite. I don't know what it means for him and the Dark Order. I hope the Dark Order is still part of Hangman's little bubble, because listen, I love the Hangman being with the Dark Order. I'm a Dark Order mark. I love the Dark Order. They are one of my favorite groups of all time. And yeah, I hope Hangman still hangs out with them. But it was cool to see him kind of teased in between the Elite and Blackpool Combat Club, and it was just utter chaos ending the show, which we all love. Chaos ending pro wrestling shows, like that's where it should be. You leave you with a cliffhanger. Can't wait to tune in next week. Super pumped. I don't have the matchups for Rampage, but it looks like it's going to be a great show this week. We got a St. Patrick's Day slam. I know Hobbs is doing an open challenge for the TNT title, which is going to be QT Marshall probably, or somebody from the group. Which, I mean, who gives a shit at that point? But hey, listen, I was pumped. I thought tonight's episode of Dynamite really added on to the storytelling, really added into some great storytelling, but also the action was fan fucking tastic, man. Like, it was just so fun. And that's not every week we get that. So I was very happy with how, how it turned out. It was fun. I think Taya Valkyrie coming out is going to be huge. What up, Big Freak? Yeah, brother. But yeah, man, I think they did a great job. I love the Canadian crowd. I thought they were hot as shit. They really, really paid into it. I'm super pumped to see where MJF's going with this. Where the 4 pillars of AEW are going with this. I hope we see, like I said earlier, I hope we see Darby in the title picture, because that's gonna be huge, man. Big shit for Darby, and well deserved. Same thing with Sammy. I mean, Sammy and Max, they could run a program. And do I necessarily want to see Sammy as the champion? Not yet. The guy's still a little baby. He's still doing good. He's doing good things. But I listen, I'm here for the matches we could have. And part of me thinks that we're going to get like a triple threat to earn the number 1 contendership, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a fatal 4-way. I mean, we haven't seen a fatal 4-way for the belt in AEW yet, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm looking forward to it, man. I think Tony Khan is on the right path of booking. We got Forbidden Door is going to be huge. Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I want to know if anybody has any opinions on AEW kind of taking their ball out of Chicago for the year. Obviously good. I'm biased. I'm from Chicago, but obviously good for the rest of the world. I want to see AEW in more markets. I want to see them succeed. I want to see them do good stuff. But I was expecting Forbidden Door to be a United Center Chicago based thing. I wonder if they're avoiding it because of Punk and all that shit, or if they're just branching out, which either way, it's great and it makes for good storytelling. It's going to be good shit in the future. I did want to point out, let me pull up one of those graphics real quick, because it's not really a spoiler, and it's not really anything like crazy, but it caught my eye. And hold on 1 second. Let me just pull that bad boy up. Not that one. We want that one. Yes. Let's do this. Boom. It's good to expand. SoCal. Yeah, man. Listen, I want them to expand. I'm not saying I don't want them to expand. I just thought it was a little weird that they weren't coming back right here, Chicago, Illinois. Where we at? Boom. Screen share. Boom. Boom. All right. Where's my little zoom? So we all know that these homeboys up in the top left corner, those 2 guys right there, those fabulous gentlemen, their contracts were up in April, right? At sometime in April. But look at the date on the poster. Not saying it's anything, telling, because things can change. Cards subject to change in pro wrestling, as it always goes. But happy to see FTR rocking on the posters for the Canadian tour. Really cool. Super awesome. Canada's getting spoiled too. This is a lot of good shit. I bet these Dynamites are going to be stacked. I'm pumped for it, man. It's really cool. Really happy to see it. I love it, man. Really do. But yeah, I mean, it was a quick rundown of AEW tonight. It was a great episode, though. I can't wait for next week's. I'll be watching Rampage as always. Rampage does not get enough love here on the wrap up, and I apologize for that. It needs to be focused on a little bit more, and I think we're going to start working on getting that planned into here, because it would be nice. But hell yeah, I'm looking forward to all things AEW. I'm looking forward to next week's Dynamite. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to the flagship tomorrow, and on our podcast feed over at Apple and Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, bros. You know how it goes. But yeah, man, it's going to be great. And we got Shot of Nostalgia coming up this Friday. We have a huge episode. Oh, I want Punk. I don't want Punk. I need Punk. Punk's here. You see, that's how important that comment was. It's because it interrupted my shilling. Yes, Punk needs to come back ASAP, because it's gonna be great. Holy shit, we got a run-in over here. He can help me plug a Shot of Nostalgia when he gets his beautiful ass in here. There he is. Drop him in. What's up,
What's going on, man?
It's the special run-in from the Tavern, man.
What's going on, man? You've been rocking in, just home right now. Caught the end of Dynamite. All good stuff, dude.
Dude, it was a great fucking show. We're at the tail end of things here. I ran through the card. We went over all the cool shit. I talked about all the fun stuff that was announced over on the socials today about the Canadian tour and all that. But yeah, what did you think of Dynamite? I thought it was a fucking stellar ass episode, man.
Let me just say, with the 4 pillars, I have to say that it is one of those things that I feel very attached to, seeing the 4 of those guys in the ring with the Triple B sort of the center of the tension with Sammy, Jungle Boy, Darby, and MJF. You know, there's something special that feels like, and I was texting Matt early night before I had to do my thing, but this segment was just awesome because it AEW is all have those guys in chip. I feel like, yes, maybe Jungle Boy has been put on ice. That Christian Core Championship, he did great things for it. But Sammy, like seeing all them together in the ring, love it. I thought that was the highlight of the show and possibly a highlight of early 2023 thus far.
Oh, absolutely. It was a lot of fucking fire on the gas, or the gasoline on the fire, man. It was really cool, and what a moment! What a beautiful, beautiful moment. Like I put it over hard as hell. So cool, and I hope we get something awesome out of it. Like I don't know if what's your thoughts on a fatal 4-way, or do you think it's gonna be like a triple threat for the #1 contendership, or something along those lines? Like I'm just interested. I'm curious to see what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it being a fatal 4-way. We're so far away from a pay-per-view, so I don't know if we'd get that at Double or Nothing, but it might be one of those things that they build up to. I don't know. It feels akin to the Shield triple threat that we never truly got in a main event slot, so maybe we get something like this at Double or Nothing. I think it deserves that big moment, but they have a lot of building up to get Darby, Sammy, and Jungle Boy to be up to MJF's level because it's quite clear MJF is head and shoulder. And it's just because of how the booking's been going the last, 12 to 14 months.
Yeah, no, and this was a nice, refreshing turn of events. I thought the whole show was, even with TAYA VALAKRIE coming out, fucking love that. Gives Jade a little bit of a tunnel, to see a light at the end of, and like I just thought the whole show, minus a few hiccups. QTV was not my favorite segment. The outcasts, not the outsiders, the outcasts, rocking the spray paint, total rip off. Like it's not selling me, but everything else was fucking chef's kiss. Great shit.
Yeah, going back to the QTV stuff, I mean, it's very akin to the TMZ stuff. And if you are trying to influence themselves on the TMZ presentation, they nailed it to the point where QT Marshall was standing exactly where the guy from whatever the guy's name is from TMZ standing in that spot. The whole presentation was just like that. And yeah, I mean, I like that they're going to get Hobbs in a integral spot on the show. I'm open-minded as to what they're doing.
Yeah, I hope it turns out good. The QT Marshall's as good as Jeff Jarrett is on my screen. Like I can deal with that.
Well, at least we know that Jeff Jarrett's not champion, so we don't have to have a riot. I saw the sign in the crowd. It says, "If Jeff Jarrett wins, we sternly boo," and that's how I felt.
Gotta love the beautiful Canadian hostility. In such a polite manner. I loved it. But yeah, man, I thought this was the main event was fucking stellar. Like it was a packed ass Dynamite, man. Really good, just top to bottom, great card.
What I really liked was the moments that they gave to Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho at the end there, and they kept teasing it. It was so well done, and AEW does a really good job of making people shine their hometown. And when you compare that to WWE's approach, where Vince gets some sick joy out of having these guys losing their hometown. I think back to Mustafa Ali in Chicago, where they job him out at whatever pay-per-view that was for the U.S. title. But AEW does a really good job of paying tribute to these guys. And, obviously Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho being a focal point of the show in the first place. It was just so well done. They got their moment to shine. To see them go toe-to-toe in Winnipeg in a title match, that match delivered. Like I felt like that match was high profile, could have been on a pay-per-view, didn't need to be on Dynamite, but they show out all the time, and they don't, that's the argument you make. A lot of people will say, save it for the pay-per-view. They give away their matches, similar to how Nitro did back in the day. But no, keep giving me the main events. Let's get bigger and better for the pay-per-views.
Hell yeah, man. No, beautifully said. This night felt very akin to our 1998 run in Monday Night Raw right now. Like I was captivated the whole show. There was very little dead spots. And it was good, man. It was that ending with the tease with Hangman.
We got
in
a
the middle.
tease. Oh no, we're out of time. Like,
Yeah.
finally, we haven't had that on Dynamite in so long.
Yeah, it was beautiful though too. Like, 'cause it left you with a rich cliffhanger because you got Hangman in the Elite, which I said earlier is possibly the best storytelling AEW has done so far. And then you got the Blackpool Combat Club kind of, chasing into it. Where's it going? I don't know, but I'm fucking strap me in. Let's enjoy this shit, man, because it's gonna be a hell of a ride.
Yeah, and I know we were talking about Hangman, the Rehabilitation Project was this Mox feud, but maybe getting him back with the Elite, that's where the story was. And I think the best story AEW's told, and obviously the best story for Hangman in comparison, was this story with the Elite. So getting them back together and finishing off that story, because it hasn't been tied in a knot, because obviously they had that moment when Hangman won the title, the Bucks gave him the nod when Kenny went away for a while. They never crossed paths again. So I do like to see this happening. And, Hangman belongs with the Elite. I think if you follow the history of AEW, I think that Adam Page deserves to be in that. I'd rather him be with them than against them.
100%. When did Stu Grayson get rehired? Because I know he left for a while. I was very shocked to see the
I don't think he's all Elite.
rocking.
I think he's just this one-off right here. So I don't know if it's Elite, but seeing the Super Smash Brothers together, fuck yeah.
Yeah, they killed it, man. Like the action, the in-ring shit was so brilliant tonight. Like everything was so good, and there were some sick ass spots in that match. The Dark Order and Blackpool Combat Club, like fucking really good stuff, and good. Like Hangman getting knocked out with the bell, like it was fun, man. But there was some just awesome reminiscent Super Smash Brothers spots. You got to see Evil Uno and Stu Grayson really showcase. Hangman kind of dipped in the middle of the match. It was perfect, man. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I like the way it. I know Evil Uno got some heat when they main evented against Moxley a few weeks ago, especially as the build to the Revolution. But I don't know, like something about this presentation of Evil Uno feels much different than how he was being presented in the past. And I can see they have a little bit of momentum. I'm not saying world champion, but I see what Tony saw in Tony, like through the indie days, the Super Smash Brothers. Like there's something about Evil Uno's presentation in the past couple of weeks that feels much different and much more serious as an edge to him.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of that Brody Lee, leadership quality to him too, which I fucking love. And he's got balls. I love that. Like he's not taking shit from nobody. Like fuck the Blackpool Combat Club, I'll fuck him up. And like you gotta love that, man. I don't know, man. It was just a beautiful episode of Dynamite.
It really was, and that's right now we're building towards just midpoint events. There's no pay-per-view in sight. Once you hit that big 4, it's 2 months away. Double or Nothing is a huge event. So AEW has a lot of holding ground, but we want to keep people's interest and building towards whatever that next event is. I know St. Patrick's Slam is this Friday for Rampage, but I'm sure there's like a Fighter Fest or something in between. A Battle of the Belts has to be coming soon. But these mini feuds that are starting, and that's the thing, I'm torn because I know these pillars, that's a main focal point story. And when you talk to people that are not as hardcore AEW fans, I'm sure it doesn't interest them. And I don't blame them. I think the thing with Jungle Boy and Sammy and also Darby, the booking has been so questionable for especially Sammy and Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy was locked up in this Christian feud for a long time, and he's shaking the rust off. If you go back and you remember, we were covering this on the wrap up. Jungle Boy was untouchable. I mean, he had that match where he took Jericho to the limit when he was champion. He was, the snare trap finish was one of the more protected finishes in AEW. And now he just felt like he was in mid-card hell with Christian. And I love Christian. That story just went on too long. And don't get me started on Sammy. Like, and that's his own doing. It's not a booking thing, but like Sammy feels like the bloom was off the rose, as they say, with him for a bit. So it's weird to have them all in the ring at the same time to show where they're at in their careers. Like Darby is perpetually the TNT champion. He's that guy. But yet those 4 in the ring, do it now, do it in 2030, keep on doing it. I love the 4 of them wrestling for the title.
100%, man. And I think if out of all, the 3 of them, I think Darby's time to shine would come out of this. Like I could see him really getting over. The crowd loved him. He was great on the mic. Jungle Boy was not so great on the mic.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't. Do you see any of these guys taking the title? I mean, Sammy, no, I don't think. But do you see it can be, because someone has to get the rub after this reign of terror is over, whether it's now and when 2024 is here, someone is taking the title from MJF. Is it one of these homegrown guys? Do you think it's It's a guy like Darby, because they have a history. And Jungle Boy too, they have a history.
No, 100%. I don't see it happening now. I think maybe down the line we'd see it, but I don't think it's there. I think we're gonna get a hell of a fucking match out of somebody or all of them, which is gonna be great. But I don't see MJF losing the title to any of the three yet. Like it's just not there. Especially Darby would be the only one that would be like, yeah, he's got a chance.
But instead of a fatal 4-way, why don't we just do 4 mini programs leading up to May and just go do the stops and do Jungle Boy, Sammy, and then run through them? It's just you have to do a good job over time to make people believe there's a legitimate threat. And I know, like, go back to the Ricky Starks match at Winter is Coming. Nobody believed that MJF was losing the title to Ricky Starks, but they had you believing in the middle of the match. There was those moments, the near falls. They have a lot of work to do to make people believe Jungle Boy and Sammy especially are ready to take the title, because, like I said, Sammy's being presented like a mid-carder. He's a JAS lackey. He's bounced back and forth. He turned face. He turned heel. He dumped his fiance. Now he's with Ty Mello, and it just feels like he's disjointed. And same thing with Jungle Boy. This feud with Christian, he came out on top, but it feels like he's for the worse. And I think it just speaks to the booking, because the Luchasaurus thing messed it up. It just, he had so much momentum. And I think the 4 of these guys are the pillars for a reason, but they have a lot of things to make them feel viable threats. They have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, 100%. I think they pulled the trigger too early on the Luchasaurus side of things now in retrospect, because they could have did that a little. They could have ended the Christian side of things, turned Luchasaurus heel. Okay, they did it a little bit of like reverse order, right? So I don't know, man. He got the shit under the stick on that for sure, but nobody's fault either, because like you're in a program like that. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Especially when you got
Nicole's
so much
in the chat. She's saying I'm glitching. Am I glitching still, or am I better now?
You were earlier. You're good now. We're
back. You know how it goes, dude. My internet takes a little bit to settle in. It's like, oh, we're doing this now.
A little warm up, a little rocking and rolling.
No warming up in the bullpen over here. We're coming in hot.
Yeah.
What were some other things on the show? I'm trying to think of things that you probably touched on already.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. We hit
the bar mitzvah thing. That might go down as one of the better segments of all time. With MJF's hat. The chair, everything about it, it was just so good. And I mean, it's just par for the course with MJF, but I think we have to appreciate the greatness we're seeing from him on a nightly basis. He's awesome.
100%. Like, if there's anybody that could do those wacky segments well, it's MJF. I mean, the singing fucking extravaganza with Jericho.
Yeah.
He's really good at just being that guy, and he sells it well too. Like, he's a hokey guy when he needs to be, but in a serious manner. I loved him the whole time. Like, it was good. Like, he was, using the Jewish mannerisms and shit like that the whole time. And they brought the chair out.
Clap or you're anti-Semitic. That was
I liked it when he is on his entrance. It said above his name, Jew AF. Like, it's just magical, I like that the company works with them on it. It's not, it's just MJF, but like, they go ahead, be super Jewish MJF. Like, we love it. I love it. It's great. I thought it was done very, very well, man. The Starks promo was okay. Not too much else on the card. Taya Valkyrie is like the best other thing that happened. I think she looked like a fucking $1 million.
Yeah,
really did.
Yeah, Chad and I were talking about her on Wrestling Tonight. I think it was everyone predicted she was showing up tonight. I thought she'd be the mystery opponent, obviously. They didn't want to have her come in a losing effort. I liked the way they presented her. Instead of losing, she had her just debut. She's a good addition to the women's division. I can see her completely joining, she's joining forces with some side, because at this point, there's a line drawn in the sand between the Outcasts and the AW Originals. Have her join. It's like the NWO. Everybody join. Give them a shirt,
dude. Throw her in the Outcast red and black. Like,
Taya Valkyrie's the wolf pack right now.
It'll be the TNA group of chicks, and it'll be great.
She's very, very talented. It sucks for Impact that they're losing her. She was such a focal point of, and I think she's still holding their championship. I want to say, and I know she's the MLW featherweight champion. So if Tony's doing business with both guys, because that's not unlike Tony, he's going to let them do business and drop the titles as needed. But she's also the Reina del Reyes champion in AAA. So I think she has both titles. So I think she was the Impact Women's Champion or Knockouts champion, but she dropped it. But she definitely holds the MLW featherweight. She has not dropped it because they taped in bulk.
Yeah. So listen, it's good. It's good for wrestling in general that she's there signed. I mean, we got the graphic. It was great. I'm pumped for it. I think she has a hell of a presence putting her in a program with Jade right off the back, perfect.
Yeah.
Like so fucking good. Like, let's do it.
Dude, I had a moment. I was driving to work and I'm thinking about obviously thinking about pro wrestling nonstop. I think going back to, and this is probably the plan, always was the plan with them. I think Chris Statlander is going to be the one to take the title off of Jade. And I think that's what they're going to do. She's yet to return. She has to come back from that injury.
Yeah.
I think she's going to take the title from her.
Yeah, no, listen, you're not wrong. I would be here for it. I miss Chris Statlander on TV. She's a great talent. I don't understand the UFOs. Why is she an alien?
I thought she dropped the alien thing, right?
She did. She's
no longer booping people on the nose.
I think she still boops. She better still boop. The boop was nice, but yeah, Tom was so hung up on just that. Why is she an alien? I don't get it. Like, who gives a shit? It's not what you're paying attention to, Tom. You're missing the whole point. But yeah, no, Chris Statlander would be fantastic. And I could see Taya Valkyrie and Statlander going at it hard.
Yeah.
And making a hell of a program out of it. I think Jade's on her way to losing the belt. I think this was a show off tonight of it. And it was the first time she felt that. Like, you could kind of see it when in the ring. And I love Taya rocking Jade's finish. That was awesome when she hit the other girl. Cool. Like, it was cool as fuck. So I was like, oh shit, like we got some business picking up. And tonight felt like the whole show felt like business was picking up. House of Black looked fantastic.
Oh yeah,
because that trios match was fucking like it could have headlined Double or Nothing, and we would have been like, beautiful.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously Sammy took the pin. That was probably the right choice in all of this. Looking at the whole group, maybe you can make the argument. It doesn't matter who takes the pin, but I didn't think House of Black was losing, but the crowd definitely went mild when they won. And I'm not saying they should have lost.
It was dead. Yeah,
they were dead. They wanted either Jericho or Kenny to get the win over there, but the right choice is House of Black going over. And I wonder where the program goes for them. As they were coming out and they're doing this big moment and Justin Roberts is doing the big entrance and it feels like pomp and circumstance. It's like, this is why you built the trios division. Like, this is what you envision. I'm sure, Tony, when you're sitting in Gorilla watching this unfold, you're like, this is why we need the titles. The division was popping off. And I love Top Flight, but it's not Top Flight on Rampage. This is the type of spectacle the trios division needs.
No, for sure. And that's a great viewpoint for everybody that doubted the trios belts being brought into it, because you could look at it and be like, fuck, there's trios titles, but this is why there is trios titles, because who would have thought we would ever have gotten this kind of a match in our lifetime? Like House of Black with Jericho, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. Like, it's fucking insane, man. It really is. And they all delivered. They all killed it. I loved every fucking second of it.
Yeah, and this felt like going back into Cheap Shield, the 1998 WWF Shot Nostalgia, which is on Friday night, 7 p.m. You guys can check that out here on the Turnbuckle Tavern. Follow me at Eastfield Retro. Follow Mike Belcaster at Mike Belcaster. But this show was bookended with the opening segment with the bar mitzvah, and then the crazy ending where you were left as a cliffhanger, and in between we had really good wrestling. This is the structure of following that type of programming where everything feels immersive and you hook the fan to have them come back for next week, because you're left with questions. You get some answers. Obviously, you got some answers. They want to continue to string you along, but that's what's been missing on Dynamite. Too many closed loops. We want to leave open-ended questions of what's going to happen with Hangman. Now I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for next Wednesday. And like, too often 100%. We don't have that on Dynamite.
Man, you echoed my statement right before you joined. I was just putting overshot of nostalgia, and this is exactly what I was saying.
How could you not? It's such a beautiful thing. I mean, I love the history of wrestling. It's evergreen content, and honestly, we can have 75 seasons. That's how beautiful it is.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, you had Sammy out there with the pillars, right? And then you had Hangman with Dark Order, the Blackpool Combat Club, and then they bring all that back in the main event, like they did on a Monday Night Raw. You got Sammy in the main. Hangman gets coming out and fucking they do that big tease. This is pro wrestling at its best, man.
Oh yeah, and we also got the immersive backstage thing with Dark Order and BCC in the back fighting, and then it gets brought to ringside. So Perfect. Yeah, they did a good job of making everything feel organic and dynamic and alive. It's not just like one-off segments, because Dynamite, when it was at its worst, and it's not ever really, really bad, but when it's at its worst, it has segments that just all stand alone on islands where it's just like match.
Yeah, or advertisements for Rampage. Yeah, totally. But this was done. I'm so glad Tony Khan took the time to listen to Shot of Nostalgia the last 2 weeks. Really, really, let it sit into his head. But man, So good, so damn good. And I mean, there's not much left to say here. I mean, we're killing it. We had a fucking great night, and I hope pro wrestling stays at this peak right now. I want more shit like this. It was great. Absolutely fucking great.
I'm just happy I was able to get on here with you. Wednesday nights have been off the grid, but when I saw you on here solo, I was like, I'm getting home, hopping on, and I was able to do it. I had Dynamite going on a phone.
Much love.
So I was able to watch it. Busy guy over here, but I want to make sure my boy Mike Belcaster isn't left hanging high and dry on the solo.
Yeah.
No, you were crushing it by yourself. You didn't need me.
Yeah, listen. The only thing I was thrown off by is we don't have a one-man overlay over for the.
Yeah, we don't have it. This is the old school overlay, by the way.
I had to run old school, man. There we go. Boom. We're in all of our shine. But yeah, we had to take it back a little bit because of the whole. Yeah, not having solos layout, but it was great. I didn't mind. I had a good time. I'm always down to talk pro wrestling. All the good spirits towards Tyson. I know he said he was having a rough night tonight. Wishing him the best, man. Tyson's our homeboy. Ace, is there anything you want to plug?
Absolutely. I didn't know Tyson was in bad spirits.
Yeah, no, he said he wasn't going to partake in the stream. He said he wasn't in the best mood. So all the love to Tyson, man. We love Tyson over here.
All right. Well, some plugging over here. Shot Nostalgia, obviously Friday. You guys can check that out. 7 p.m. We're covering 2 episodes of Raw. We got Unforgiven, Dude Love versus Stone Cold Steve Austin for the title. We also have DX invading Nitro. We have the buildup of Rock as the leader in the nation. Dude, so much going on there. And then obviously we're going to continue our path throughout the rest of 1998. We announced season 4, right? It's season 4 of Shot Nostalgia. That's going to be Smoky Mountain Wrestling. It's a mini season, 7 episodes. We're going to cover a full year of 1994 of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So get your Jim Cornette in, and we're going to see how good it is. I mean, people remember it fondly, but I've watched some of it. I've seen the roster and stuff. So I'm really curious about, because the biggest thing you and I were talking about is finding out if Dave Meltzer covered it extensively in the newsletter. And he doesn't cover it extensively, but there are segments of news that we're going to be able to dip into, and it's going to be a lot of information in bite-sized pieces, hopefully. And you guys can chew on all that. Friday's Shot Nostalgia. We'll be approaching episode 100 at this point. We're like, I mean, this is crazy. It feels like we just started.
Good. Yeah, no, it's only just begun. It's been a blast though, man. And I've like I said, going back and rewatching all this shit with fresh eyes again. It's unbelievable. Like, this year of Raw has been fucking bonkers every week. It's like, this is that big moment. This is that big moment. Like,
yeah,
we're getting the knock on the WCW doors. Hey, Ted, let us in, brother. I'm looking forward to it. But you guys got to tune in. Can't spoil the whole fucking fun for you.
Speaking of that, and it's wild too, because it's crazy. It's a year we were on Fig Night talking about it, doing all the special edition last year. It's a year anniversary since Scott Hall passed away today.
Yeah.
So we're seeing all the great messages. The great Scott Hall no longer with us, but his memory lives on, man. Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, whatever iteration you love, he is one of the best has ever done it. So we do miss Scott Hall. He's ever influencing the whole product for the better. So we see a lot of it in 1998, even though he's not on the card in WWF, but he's making waves on the other side.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. A big rest in peace to Scott Hall, a fucking champion, man. One of the guys that got me invested in this fucking crazy business that pro wrestling.
100%. Other things to hype. Also want to say we have Honor Side tomorrow, so we're going to be covering Ring of Honor. Myself and Colton, Mullet.mania on Instagram.
You got a new episode
roster, and dude, I haven't seen any spoilers. So if they taped it in advance, they're doing a good job hiding the spoilers for this event. We have the 6-man titles on the line: the Dalton Castle and the Boys versus the Embassy. I have a feeling they're taking the titles off Brian Cage and the Embassy. Because obviously Brian Cage's contract is starting to circle the drain if they haven't come to an agreement. I could see Dalton Castle and the Boys taking that title, but I think we also are getting Willie Mack versus Claudio too. So that's going to be a banger. Willie Mack, a very, very underrated talent. We've seen him in GCW recently, but the guy is awesome. Junkyard Dog vibes in the best way possible.
Yeah, no, in the best way possible, man. No, I'm pumped for what's it called, Honor Society being back. Ring of Honor being back in general, but Honor Society, obviously, because if you guys can't watch Ring of Honor, you just watch Honor Society. It's even better because you get the full rundown and you get to see Ace, which is everybody's favorite part of the day, right?
So they say. I mean, I feel like we've been on this run of visits, which brings me to my next hyping. I didn't have a visit this week to the Tavern, but next Wednesday I'm going to be filming with Jack Tomlinson, who I've had the pleasure of interviewing once before. He's actually my second ever interview on an Acefield Retro Bell to Bell interview session. This will be his first time visiting the Tavern. That will air next Friday after Shot Nostalgia, directly following it. So probably 9 p.m., 9:10. And then they will drop on audio the next Wednesday. Just to hype it up as well, we've been dropping on Wednesdays the audio versions of these visits to Tavern. There's a lapse in time. So Sneed is doing a great job editing. He's pulling some of the audio. He's going to be, for this next Wednesday, we're going to be putting down the Slime Bowl interview I did. NYWC tag team from Long Island over here. Great tag team. Sage Chance and Tommy Rant. I interviewed them back in October. It didn't visit the Tavern, but he's going to format it to make it be, well, I think it was a visit to the Tavern, just wasn't audio drop. So we're going to have that as well. So both those guys are
rolling, man.
Epic. Two of my favorite best friends in wrestling right now. And I love them, everything they're doing. They've been in CZW recently. They've been under the wing of Milk Chocolate. So I'm excited for what they're doing. And it's an older interview. They're hyping up stuff, but it's all relevant information. Talk about Tommy Rent's influence in music and backyard wrestling. Got a lot of good shit. So
yeah, no, definitely worth the listen, guys. You know, like I said, follow us everywhere because we're just dropping shit left and right, and that, I mean, dropping shit in a good way.
We got Nick, the comic nerd, in here. I'm just gonna say what up to him. That's my homie right there.
You got it. We got it. Boom. What up, Nick the comic nerd? Thanks for stopping by the AEW wrap up, man. It was
Nick the comic nerd getting ready for this Saturday, brother. We're having a fantasy baseball draft live and in person. Matt from Extra Cooler driving all the way from upstate New York to hang out with me and my boys. He's going to be part of the fantasy baseball draft this year. We're going to drink some Sloop beer. I'm going to, for the first time, I get to enjoy Sloop, proud sponsors of the Extra Cooler show.
Jealous.
Can't wait.
Sounds like a fucking great time, man. But yeah, man, this was an awesome time. I appreciate you so dearly for hopping on because it gave us an extra half hour of conversation that was very, very riveting and great, man. It really was. This was, like I said, probably one of the best episodes of Dynamite in a long time. I'm pumped, man, for next week. Guys, stay tuned for the Turnbuckle Tavern. Obviously, Ace plugged it. We got the flagship tomorrow. Go listen to the flagship. Too bad Chads, brother. And until next week, I'm gonna cue up that little video cue right here. But until next week, guys, we will catch you later.